day one AK47 Russian parts kit build. So, see here, got part of the front trunnion, a piece of the old receiver on it. There's a barrel pin you got to push out. Very difficult to do. It's a 20-ton press. What I ended up doing after bending this pin, actually cutting one of these in half. It's a drill bit, so put it on the chop saw, cut off this part of it, and use that as a guide to push the pin out. As you can see, it already went a little bit, about a millimeter. I'm gonna push more of it out, see what happens. Alright, I got the pin a couple of millimeters into the trunnion. You can see, where is it? Right there. You can see the pin's protruding out of the trunnion right there, pretty much touching the metal. What I'm gonna do now is drill a hole in order to be able to get that thing all the way through. Alright, so I soaked it in some WD-40. You can see I still got some sitting right there. Time to go put it in a jig, press it out all the way. Alright, so here's a little jig. Just threw it together today, drilled a few holes. So you can see this hole's all the way through to allow that pin that's protruding out a bit basically go all the way. Alright, so let's set this up like that. It's nice and snug in there. Put that pin back in and press it down. Alright, got that set up. Scary shit. It's going right out, right into the hole. Running out of the pin. Alright, well, we got here, the barrel pin finally fell out. Came out, and so what I did was I used this old little pin, the one that got jacked up and bent. In addition, just stacked them on top of the long one and ended up pushing it all the way through without damaging the receiver. And there it is. She's all out. And I did not drill the pin. The pin is still in perfect condition, and I can still use it for the new barrel. Cool. Alright, what I got going on here, pushing the barrel out. I'm using a Harbor Freight impact gun extension, half-inch extension. Fits perfect. You guys can see that right there. So I'm gonna crank on it, and you'll see the barrel go down. Nice and easy. Okay, I'm gonna release it and check it and come back to it. Alright, took it out, checked it, going a little bit further. Just don't want to fuck anything up. Whoops. Alright, still clearing everything. feel like it's gonna go. Boom. There it was. Barrel's out. There's a trunnion. Front AK47 trunnion. Getting there. So I decided to shave these rivets off last. Figured keeps the trunnion protected. Shave these rivets off, take the old receiver, and should have myself a brand new trunnion. That's it. Harbor Freight, 1/2 inch impact gun, socket extension. Alright, so we used the Milwaukee 4.5 inch angle grinder, not the Home Depot one and not the Ryobi one.
Not the Home Depot one, shit!
And went ahead and ground these off, so no more rivets. Put some tape on the good part, so in case the angle grinder was to slip off, I wouldn't damage the trunnion. The idea is to basically get these. Go on there, focus. Okay, so the idea is to get this thing flush with the surface. You can see those little, where the rivets were, little outlines right there. So I could probably take a screwdriver now and pry this apart. Alright, so I drilled these rivets out, punched them out, and got the front trunnion out. Trick to these is not to really drill them all the way through. What I did was I drilled these ones all the way through. You could really damage these holes or widen them over here if you just drill all the way through. So as you can see, those were my all the way through drilled rivets. And if you just drill a little bit, the idea is to drill maybe halfway through and then take one of these punches, take a hammer to it and just pop it out. No sense of drilling all the way through and risking damaging your trunnion. Anyway, you can see these rivets here are nice and full, where these were all drilled through the side. It's really hard to drill it 100% in the center unless you have some kind of mill or whatever. So with the drill press, this is what I was able to do, and I like the results. Took all day of work to just get the front trunnion out of the receiver that someone cut once. Alright, that's it for tonight. May 1st, 2015. So what I did here is ground those rivet heads flat on the back side of a trigger guard. I want to do from the other side just so I don't jack things up, and I'm just going to punch them right there once I'm done with these two other ones. See them right there. Just take a good old angle grinder, grind it down. Alright, so I ended up getting this off. Just grind it flat, beat it out. Got one rivet out so far, it's right there. Basically, just drill right through it. Make a little hole using a punch. Center as you can possibly get it. Put it under a drill press. Give it about 1/4 inch drill, and then just punch them out. Alright, so the idea is to knock these rivet heads off before you drill through them. There's ones right here. Alright, so what I was able to do is free up the rear trunnion here, away from the receiver piece. Basically wraps around it and gets riveted through, and those two screws in the buttstock get screwed through these two holes in the trunnion. So the next step for this would be to remove, or actually drill out these the remaining of these rivets all the way through and punch them out. As you can see here, I started drilling them with the smallest drill bit I could find. I think it was like 1/64. Maybe I'm mistaken on the size, I'm not sure. But smallest one I found laying around the shop. Center punched it after I knocked the rivet heads off and pulled this guy off of it using device, pliers, whatever you find laying around. Right, so I took that off and center punched these and started drilling with the smallest drill bit I could find. I got about maybe one third of the way through, almost a half maybe, and I don't know if I want to push it anymore. I'm going to start drilling from this side, try to meet halfway and punch them out. And I'll update that in a video, of course, as soon as I get that done. That's the next step to this disassembly. Alright, until next time. So these front sight pins will not hammer out. We have to put them under a press. What we're going to do is cut a drill bit and use that to press these out. Hopefully it works. We got the barrel pin pressed out of the front sight right here. Labeled it. It's inside of that little box right there. Still need to drill these out for the rear trunnion right there.